Ever tried to take a selfie with a squirrel? I did, and let me tell you, it didn't end well. It was a sunny afternoon, and there I was, strolling through a serene national park. The birds were singing, the air was fresh, and all was perfect for capturing some memorable pictures. Little did I know, I was about to have an unexpected wildlife encounter that would be remembered for all the wrong reasons. As I was walking along a trail, I spotted a squirrel. It was adorable. With its fluffy tail and the way it was nibbling on a nut, I thought, this would make a great selfie. So I approached it cautiously, phone at the ready. I was so focused on getting the perfect shot that I didn't even consider the fact that I was invading its personal space. As I leaned in, aiming for the perfect angle, the squirrel suddenly jumped onto my hand. Startled, I dropped my phone, and the squirrel, perhaps thinking it was another nut, pounced on it. There I was, in the middle of a national park, with a squirrel frantically trying to crack open my phone like a walnut. The onlookers, instead of coming to my rescue, were doubled over with laughter. I mean, who wouldn't find a grown-up being outsmarted by a tiny squirrel funny, right? After what felt like an eternity, the squirrel finally realized my phone was not a nut, and scampered away, leaving me red-faced and phoneless. It was an encounter I'll never forget, and it taught me a valuable lesson. Respect the personal space of wildlife, or you might end up being the day's entertainment for both the animals and the onlookers. So, next time you're out in nature, remember it's their home and we're just visitors. And that, my friends, is why you should never underestimate the power of a squirrel. On to the next one. Scene script. Who knew that asking for directions could turn into a full-blown mime performance? Imagine this. You're wandering through the winding streets of a foreign city. The sun is setting, the signs are in a language you don't understand, and your map? Well, it might as well be a piece of abstract art. You're lost. It's not exactly an uncommon situation for a traveler, but it's one that can lead to some of the funniest moments. So there you are, in the middle of a bustling marketplace, trying to communicate with a local vendor. You don't speak the language and they don't speak yours. What do? You resort to the universal language, charades. You're flapping your arms, mimicking a bird to represent a plane, then imitating walking, then pointing at your map. You're putting on a full-blown mime show right there in the middle of the market, and the vendor, they're looking at you like you've just sprouted a second head. They're trying not to laugh, but it's a losing battle. Soon they're doubled over in laughter, and you can't help but join in. You're both laughing so hard that other passers-by start to notice and chuckle along too. Suddenly, you're the star of the show, the center of attention. But here's the best part. Amidst the laughter and the fun, someone understands your outlandish charades. A kind stranger steps forward, takes a look at your map and points you in the right direction. Victory! You thank them profusely with a big thumbs up and a grin. You might not know their language, but the universal language of gratitude needs no translation. So, getting lost in a foreign land might seem daunting, but it's also an opportunity for hilarious, unforgettable moments. It's a chance to connect with people in ways you never thought possible, to break down barriers with laughter and shared understanding. So next time you're lost, remember, your hands might just be your best GPS. Let's move on to the next funny story. Ice and dignity don't mix well. Take it from someone who learnt it the hard way. Picture this, a bustling holiday market in the heart of a wintry city. The air is filled with the scent of mulled wine and roasting chestnuts. Sounds picturesque, doesn't it? But add to this idyllic scene a hidden sheet of ice, an unsuspecting traveler, and you've got yourself a recipe for a slapstick comedy. So there I was, strolling through the market, soaking in the festive vibes, blissfully unaware of the icy trap that lay ahead. One wrong step and whoosh, down I went like a sack of potatoes right in the middle of the crowd. The fall itself was a spectacle to behold, a bit like a scene from a cartoon show, complete with flailing arms and a surprised yelp. The reactions of the bystanders were a sight to see. Some gasped, others chuckled, and a few kind souls rushed over to help. There was this one elderly gentleman who had the most infectious laugh. He was chuckling so much that he had to hold on to his belly. And then, there was a little girl with wide-eyed wonder who asked her mom if I was practicing for a breakdance competition. But the best part of the whole incident was how it was handled. Instead of wallowing in embarrassment, I decided to own the moment. With a dramatic bow to my audience, I picked myself up, dusted off the snow, and with a sheepish grin, continued my exploration of the market. The ice may have won the battle, but I won the war. The war against embarrassment, that is. And I was rewarded with a memorable story, one that still brings a smile to my face and laughter to those who hear it. So, always remember folks, Winter Wonderland can also be a land of comic mishaps. Now let's slide into the next moment. Ever tried a local delicacy only to realize it's not your cup of tea? Well, I did, and here's what happened. During my travels, I've had my fair share of culinary adventures. But one incident in particular comes to mind that had me laughing for days. It was a balmy evening in a small, quaint coastal town. The aroma of local cuisine wafted through the air, enticing my taste buds. I decided to dive headfirst into the cultural experience, ordering a dish that the locals seemed to be enjoying. With a name I couldn't pronounce and ingredients I didn't recognize, it was an intriguing mystery on a plate. The first bite was an explosion of flavors, a delightful symphony that had me nodding in approval. But then, the waiter came over with a grin, revealing what I had just consumed. Remember the excitement of opening a surprise gift as a kid? This was the exact opposite. The exotic delicacy turned out to be a dish traditionally made with a variety of sea creatures that most of us wouldn't dare touch. The realization turned my gastronomic adventure into a humorous, if slightly horrifying memory. The locals around me, noticing my reaction, erupted into laughter. Their rosy cheeks and sparkling eyes added to the warmth of the place. This moment was a reminder of how food, laughter, and a dash of surprise can bring people together, transcending language and cultural barriers. Despite the initial shock, I realized the beauty of this experience was in its unpredictability. It was about diving into the unknown, embracing the local traditions, and coming out with a funny story to tell. It was about the joy of trying new things, even if they turn out to be a little more adventurous than expected. So the next time you find yourself in a similar situation, remember, it's not just about the food, it's about the journey, the people, and the unforgettable memories you create along the way. And that's why it's always a good idea to ask what's on your plate. Moving on to our final and funniest travel moment. Scene script. Who needs a swimming pool when you can accidentally fall into a fountain? Picture this. It was a sunny afternoon, and I was meandering through a beautiful plaza renowned for its majestic, centuries-old fountain. I was so engrossed in the intricate carvings on the fountain that I didn't notice the slick, moss-covered edge. One moment I was admiring the artistry, the next I was taking an unplanned dive, fully clothed into the chilly water. The shock of the cold water, the sound of the splash, the sudden realization of what had happened, it all hit me at once. And oh, the reactions. Passers-by gasped, some laughed, others clapped. A few good souls even rushed over to help me out of my impromptu swimming pool. And there I stood, drenched from head to toe, feeling a little bit like a fish out of water, but also laughing along with the crowd. See, that's the thing about travel. It's not just about seeing new places or trying new foods. It's about these unexpected moments that catch you off guard, that have you laughing at yourself and realizing that it's these little misadventures that make the best stories. In the end, my unexpected fountain dive was not just a hilarious incident, but a memorable moment that brought smiles and laughter to a crowd of strangers and me. And there you have it, a dip to remember. Now, isn't travel just full of surprises? Thank you for joining me on this journey of laughter and unexpected surprises. It's been a blast reliving these moments, and your company made it even better. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Let's keep the fun going. And hey, we all have those funny, unforgettable travel tales, right? So go ahead, drop yours in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more fun travel stories, and share your own hilarious moments in the comments. Safe travels, everyone, and keep the humor alive.